The
Okay.
Raiders select Tyree Wilson, and we are back. Welcome to part two of the Into the Stands draft special. Colin here with Chris Robbie, and we're joined here from Christian. You remember him from past couple shows. So, yep, back here. We just obviously saw Tyree Wilson get drafted to the Las Vegas Raiders. So let's get right into it. What do you think about this pick for the Raiders?
I mean, it's an interesting pick from the Raiders. I mean, you have they have Max Crosby, I believe, is one of their edges. Where did they go edge? I thought they would have gone secondary. Their secondary is not very good, but I feel like they went maybe a little bit safer. I feel like this Tyree Wilson would have been better on the Falcons. Falcons going to be on the clock next. Could they be the ones who maybe take Bijan Robinson? Possibly not like his physicality more than Cordell Patterson, but Tyree Wilson, I feel like, is a good pick. I'm interested to see what the Falcons do next. Christian, what are your quick thoughts on the pick for the Raiders?
So I'm gonna be honest. I had them picking up a corner or a quarterback. I thought Will Levis was gonna go here. I mean, him with his crazy arm and DeAndre Hopkins down the field. I mean, I thought that would be one of the obvious picks here, but I mean, it's a good pickup. I mean, he played Big 12 football. He's got a big frame. It says he's 6'5" and around 270 pounds. So, like Robbie said, they have Max Crosby, but I mean, you can never have too much on your defensive line. So, they just got a great player, and they're gonna build that defense up. I think they needed secondary, but you can't go wrong building up your defensive line.
So now heading up to as we said, the Falcons. Do you think that they go with Tyree Wilson? I mean, they went with Tyree Wilson. The Raiders did, which I had to go into the Falcons. It's interesting to see what the direction the Falcons go in next. I mean, they have options. What position do you think the Falcons would go with here, Colin?
I mean, taking a look at it, because I remember I filled out, team needs go leading up into this. So taking a look at what I have written down here. So you're looking at the Atlanta Falcons. We're looking at possibly an edge rusher, a cornerback, or a wide receiver. Now, I'm not sure if they go for Jack Smith and Jiba here, because obviously it seems like they're not going to go for a quarterback. It seems like they want to stick with Desmond Ridder for another year. I'm not really sure why. I mean, maybe they want to get Caleb Williams, Drake May. But yeah, edge rusher, quarterback still a possibility. Could they be a team that takes Christian Gonzalez? I think we might see that right here.
It'd be interesting because they have a solid secondary, but their defensive line is not very good. I mean, you saw what they've been able to do if they had some form of pressure, could that be a bigger impact for them? So, I mean, Lucas Van Ness, I think, would be a good fit here with it off the edge. Remember, Jalen Carter, I don't think has been picked yet, right?
No, still hasn't. The pick is in right now.
So interesting to see what the Falcons do here. I mean, I don't know if he's more of a scheme fix. They run a 3-4, but I mean, the pick is in. First of all, those who are joining from the W into the stands link, apologies for the delay there, but of adding the link. But we got a lot of viewers. We had 40 views on part one in about 2 hours. So appreciate all of you guys who have been able to join the stream so far. It's been a lot of fun for us three being able to talk with someone who really haven't been able to discuss with anything before, with the college football fanatic who gave great insight for us as we're now in a commercial break for the Falcons pick.
So I kind of want to pivot a little bit here. So, Christian, let's talk about the Giants. What do you want the Giants to do? Because I'm not sure if you're going to be on when the Giants make their pick.
Oh, we're behind. I just found out who the pick is.
All right, so, being a Giants fan at this point, I think we just let Saquon go. What I would like to see, it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. Is you trade Saquon and get a higher pick, maybe 2 picks in the first round from a team, maybe I don't know. I feel like they should trade up, and you could pick up a young quarterback in the later rounds. I mean, we've seen running back in the later rounds. We've seen running backs go later on and turn out to be studs. So I think trading Saquon for a higher pick, maybe like a 9 through 12 pick, kind of like the Eagles did with AJ Brown, and they got that elite receiver that they needed. So I think the Giants should trade even the best running back in the league potentially.
Listen, I agree with you. I think that even if we do keep Saquon, I can see us drafting a running back, because obviously with injury concerns that concern you. And I mean, you look at the other running backs the Giants had. I mean, who was our number 2 running back? Was it Matt Breida? Was it Gary Brightwell? I think that getting another running back would be huge, especially with Saquon's injury concerns. But yeah, we still have to wait and see. They're having contract negotiations right now. It's kind of a stalemate. But I agree with you. I could definitely see a running back being taken by the Giants in the later rounds.
So as we said, for those who are just joining us now for part 2, we've seen 1 pick so far in the second part. For the next hour, of course, we got Christian. And, of course, we got one of the big names from WIUR coming up at 10 o'clock. Cam Woolley joins us, and these guys are ecstatic about it. But as we continue our NFL draft special, first of all, once again, appreciate the College Football Fanatic for joining us. We had a great time with him for the 2 hours. It was an awesome opportunity to really collab with a show that we really didn't imagine us doing back in September. But I mean, one of the biggest events in WIR history, but one of the biggest collabs. First time they're really ever doing something like this, where they're doing multiple streams, like broken down like this, and just having one long NFL draft stream. It's been awesome, and I'm grateful as all of us here for being able to do this for you guys here on the WIR Iona Gales YouTube. But enough about that type of stuff. We now head back to the draft. So it's interesting because if the Falcons go Robinson, one, it'd be a curveball to me because their defensive line is a mess. And I feel like they would have wanted Wilson. So now, I mean, the pick has probably been leaked by now. I probably would have found out
I actually had the CJ Stroud pick leaked for me because of Bleacher Report, but I turned on my Bleacher Report notifications. But I think usually if you just look at your Twitter feed, I know Shams has been big on spoiling.
Shout out to NFLTradeRumors.com for no reason at all, other than just blowing picks for me because I literally turned it on for about 5 seconds. Okay. And I found out who the pick was. And I'm frustrated with it.
Let's see what happens here.
I'm not saying anything. I want to hear what the fans' reaction is, though.
I don't know how they're gonna react.
It's
gonna be mixed.
Could it be Bijan Robinson? Could it be Jalen Carter? What?
Could it be Levis as a curveball?
Could be Levis as a curveball. There's options there. Could this be Christian Gonzalez to really want to add more to the secondary? Let's listen to Roger Goodell. I think Sweet Caroline.
I believe so.
Looks like they have someone else as an honorary picker.
The first one of those things. We know the Jets are doing it late. I believe the Jets are doing it later on, but see what they're doing.
They are.
Oh, because it's based in Atlanta, I think. Okay, they go Bijan Robinson. But before we go into the next pick, we do reportedly may have a trade between the Chicago Bears moving down one selection to the Eagles. So apparently, according to reports, the Eagles will now be on the clock at number 9. According to sources, we're waiting for confirmation from Adam Schefter. But apparently, according to some reports, the Eagles might be. I'm just going to check Adam Schefter's Twitter now. But according to what I've just found out. But let's just go quickly into what the Falcons did before we see this trade that we're reportedly hearing. The Falcons have now used their last 3 first-round picks on offensive talents. We have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and now Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, very elusive. He can move. Generational-esque running back coming out of Texas. Here is the trade now. The Eagles are, I believe, are now moving up one selection. And there you go.
I think I know who they're going to pick.
I mean, could they? This could be
Jalen Carter because
do they need defensive tackle though?
But the mentality is Fletcher Cox and all those guys are getting up there in age. Brandon Graham's also getting up there in age. The mentality is you get Jalen Carter in there. Now he had his character concerns to get him into that system.
But pairing him up with Jordan Davis. Oh wow.
There's no other reason to trade up for it not to be Jalen Carter. See, the pick's already in. They knew exactly what they wanted when they were making this trade. I feel Jalen Carter, even Nolan Smith. I mean, they're both extremely good athletes and they're extremely good players, but I feel like Jalen Carter is going to go here, and that Eagles defensive line is going to, I hate to say it, demolish NFC East offensive lines.
It already had 7 sacks last year. It's going to get better.
It's going to get even better. I mean, he's a freak athlete. I mean, if that's the pick, which I'm assuming so.
We talked about it too, right? With those guys, as Colin, as you said, those guys getting up there in age, and Philly, right there, also the financial situation.
That's what I thought. So right now, the Bears are playing this smart because remember they might need go offensive tackle, and if they can get maybe some extra some extra picks that they may use to draft some other pieces, why not go for him? I have a feeling Philadelphia might have been scared in case that the Bears wanted to maybe go Jalen Carter, maybe Philadelphia throws a huge curveball and goes secondary. I mean, cornerback is a little bit of an issue with them, but I feel like Philadelphia later on and maybe make a move into the back end of the first round. I like them taking a guy like a Cam Smith later on in the first round, around 26-ish. But Jalen Carter looks like this is going to be the pick here. So
you don't see back-to-back picks get traded very often. The last time I can remember also involved the Chicago Bears and Mr. Trubisky. I remember that was they actually gave up a lot of capital to get Mr. Trubisky here. The Bears now on the other side of it. But obviously, if you're the Eagles, if you had any sort of fear that Chicago was going to take Jalen Carter and you really wanted him, obviously that's what you do. So that we expect him to be the pick. Where the pick is in, we're waiting to hear from Roger Goodell. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
So here's the trade package reportedly, according to Adam Schefter. If the Eagles have traded their 10th pick and a 4th round pick next year to move up one pick. A little bit less than I would have thought. I mean, you wouldn't really think you need to move much to move up one pick, but Eagles are going to get their guy. You would have thought, if you were the Bears, that I would be interested if they would win Jalen Carter. But right now, I mean, it looks like it's going to be Jalen Carter, who's fallen further than most people expected.
You know what I think this sets up for? I think this sets up for Tennessee at 11, possibly snatching Levis. I think
that's right.
I think that we might be looking at that right now because I don't see Chicago trading down again. I think that Chicago would, like you said, take that alignment. I'm going to say Skoronski. I think that would be the pick for me that I would go for. And then I think maybe we might see Will Levis at 11, but obviously wait to see the shit on Carter.
Chicago needs a lot, though. I mean, listen, they have the pieces, though. I mean, you have Justin Fields. And you have Claypool at receiver, so
I mean, Darnell Mooney and DJ Moore now as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So you really don't need a receiver if you're Chicago. You're gonna have to go defensive line.
I think they could go. They maybe go offensive tackle. Remember,
or offensive tackle.
Not very good. I feel like this would have been like a Skoronski. I feel like it'd be a 9 because I remember. For those who remember my mock draft, I had Skoronski falling a lot, but with the recent developments, I feel like this could be Skoronski, and possibly setting up for some teams maybe moving up to draft an offensive tackle. Because remember, there's only 4 main ones that we've been talking about all year. It's been Skoronski, it's been Darnell Wright, it's been Broderick Jones, and of course, the aforementioned, I'm forgetting his name now. That's embarrassing.
Well, look, Tennessee,
the 4th tackle.
Oh.
It was Jones. It was the one taken early. Oh, and Paris Johnson. Apologies. He went already. So those are the 4 main ones. I mean, there's ones that you could draft in the 2nd round. I'm interested to see later on if they can move up. There you go. There is the Eagles-Bears trade. I mean, Fletcher Cox is going in age, as some of them have mentioned. So Jalen Carter, a possible home run selection for the Eagles, who really didn't need to move up, actually.
This is a guy who, before all this stuff happened, we talked about it, was projected to possibly the number 1 overall pick if Chicago kept it. So seeing the Eagles, the team that was just 3 points away from winning the Super Bowl, get them. I mean, that is just a phenomenal haul, especially back when they made that trade with the Saints last year. So waiting to see it here, but see what happens.
As we continue to wait for the pick, I mean, just summarizing. So here are the picks that we've happened so far. If you weren't able to tune in for part number 1, which was absolute chaos.
They'll come to the stage now.
Here we go.
Oh, we'll listen to the stage and we'll run down the first 10 picks for you. Why would they do this?
We're really delayed, dude. We're like 2 picks behind.
We are. I know. Okay, so Jalen Carter is the pick here out of Georgia, the first Bulldogs selected today. Jalen Carter going to be in that interior 4-3 defense, causing absolute chaos. I think he can play in the 3-4, 4-3. He can do a lot for you. So, I mean, he was a big factor in the college football playoff national championship, the semifinal, all throughout that season in the SEC playing for Georgia. It's an interesting pick. I mean, apologies, by the way, for anyone if we're delayed at all, but Jalen Carter going at 10. Now we're pretty much a third of the way done, and Jalen Carter going at the number 10 pick. So just to run down the picks so far, we had Bryce Young at number 1. We had number 2 being CJ Stroud at Ohio State. Texans trade up again to get Will Anderson. Then we had Indianapolis taking Anthony Richardson. Seattle's taking Devin Witherspoon. Number 6 was Arizona getting Paris Johnson. 7 was Las Vegas. Then went Tyree Wilson, an edge from Texas Tech. 8 was Bijan Robinson to the Falcons. And this is number 9. So Jalen Carter goes at number 9. Now it's going to be 10 to the Bears, who have their pick in already. Could we see offensive tackle here? I mean, that would be a very interesting pick for sure. I mean, remember, there's only 4 main ones this year, as mentioned. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go maybe Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Do they go Darnell Wright from Tennessee or Broderick Jones from Georgia? Because I feel like that would be the biggest need for them. Or do they throw in a ginormous curveball? And do they go Christian Gonzalez in this pick? I mean, if you want to go secondary, why not go Christian Gonzalez and throw another curveball into this draft? But right now, as we see Jalen Carter heading to meet the commissioner, and 9 picks down, 22 picks to go, and you'll hear us all night long here on the WIUR Iona Gales YouTube channel till the end of the first round tonight. Appreciate all the support we got in part 1, by the way. We got a ton of viewership. It's an interesting start, but
Oh, the Eagles are so good.
so right now, if you're the Bears, do you go offensive tackle here? Because Justin Fields is running for his life half the time. Do you go offensive tackle? I mean, or do you go with the big knee with Gonzalez? But for reference, Christian Gonzalez, I found this out in research. His family is absolutely crazy. I believe his sister was a D1 track star and breaking records. His parents were both major athletes as well. Christian Gonzalez is an athletic freak. We didn't talk about him in the pregame about that he could possibly be passed on. And this is really weird to see Devin Witherspoon be taking over him. I'm interested to see if Deontay Banks or Joey Porter is taking ahead of him. But right now, 9 picks in, waiting for here with the 10th pick and the final pick of the first third of the first round. Remember, it's only 31 picks. The Dolphins had to forfeit their first round pick this year. But Colin, do you have anything for us real quick?
I mean, I think that if you're the Bears, you do have to try to protect Justin Fields. Obviously, with a mobile quarterback, the offensive line is obviously going to be very important. And, you can't let Justin Fields get hit because we've seen so many times mobile quarterbacks in this league. We've seen that they've had injury problems. We've seen that hit them too much. They don't have long shelf life. So trying to extend Justin Fields' shelf life in the NFL, you need to get an offensive line help.
Listen, I mean, I've watched, my friends are Bears fans, so I usually hang out with them and I watch the games with them. And the main problem is Justin Fields has to run back at least 15 yards, and the guy finds a way to gain 10. He's going to have to retire by the time he's like 30 at this rate. I mean, he gets hit every other play or he's running for his life. So, I mean, you have to start somewhere. I mean, hopefully this offseason, the Bears could also pick up some free agent linemen. I mean, maybe some young guys, some young, hungry guys, some talented guys. They got to start somewhere, I mean, they have really good pieces on the offense. If that line just gets fixed, they'll be good. And the defense is not bad either. So it's got to start with the offensive line for the Bears.
I'm wondering to see what Christian Gonzalez falls if the Jets could take him and maybe transitioning him to like a safety. Like, I don't know. I mean, Christian Gonzalez would probably be fit more just as a regular corner, but moving positions this early. I mean, I've gotten questions about this before. Would be very odd here if you wanted to do something like that. But right now, we're waiting on the Bears pick.
Even Joey Porter's still on the board. I mean, Joey Porter, and
Deontay Banks.
Joey Porter is He's bigger. He's bigger than Gonzalez, but Gonzalo's freakishly fast and freakishly athletic. So I mean, if you're, I mean, the Jets could. If imagine the Jets have Sauce Gardner and pick up one of the top 3 corners in the draft, that would be money for them. We already know how good they got in the last 2 days. So adding one of the top corners in the draft, money for the Jets.
So right now, this is actually the way this draft is going. This is falling right in the hands of 2 teams at 13 and 14 with the Packers and the Patriots. 2 teams that could be possibly going wide receiver.
Well, I want to say because
Yeah.
if Tennessee does not go for Will Levis, could you see New England going for Will Levis? Because
No.
you've heard
No way.
they're not crazy on Mac Jones now.
Let's hear this pick. Bruh.
Not
Okay.
what we expected. Not the
No reaction at all. Perfect.
Not a bad pick though.
So the number 1 tackle and number 4 tackle are off the board, as some have said.
I can never be too critical of these moves because we remember when we drafted Andrew Thomas, he wasn't viewed as the top tackle in that draft, and man, he's turned out pretty good. So maybe the Bears, Darnell Wright's their guy, and if you get your guy to protect your quarterback, obviously that's who you're going to take.
I mean, I think what they're looking at here is his size. He is absolutely gigantic. I mean, he's a force. You know, I mean, you saw the season Tennessee had, and you saw how much time Hooker had throughout the year. And you know, that offensive line, I mean, looking at his highlights now, I mean, he's quick. He's quick on his feet. And for a guy that big, I mean, speed as an offensive tackle, especially with the DNs and the NFL nowadays, you got to have speed. And I think he's a good addition for the Bears. You know, like I said, you got to start somewhere. And, you know, they're starting here with a right tackle.
I mean, right now, the way it's falling, the Packers could even be in line to draft Will Levis if this isn't Tennessee.
Packers?
I mean, someone in this group chat that I'm in with all, analysts from a camp.
I still wait to see what JSN gets picked. I think that JSN could go.
I mean,
I think the Packers might go JSN.
Apparently Watson, that's a home run for them. But looking at, I remember that's fast.
5 flat.
Jeez.
Wow.
But he's great. I know he's fast and is good at feet, but he's just been penalized a lot. And he's been able to protect Hendon Hooker a good amount, but I think the Bears get a very solid tackle. I had him in my mock draft falling to the number 14 selection, the Patriots possibly going tackle. But this is setting up very well for the Patriots and the Packers to take receivers.
Titans have their pick in. Looks like it.
Now, the question here is, if they're committing to a quarterback that they already have, could they go tackle?
I think so.
I mean, what? Are we ending the commercial again?
But if this isn't Will Levis, then I really don't know how far he's going to fall. I don't know when he's going to get taken.
I think they go with the offensive lineman from Northwestern here.
I think Skoronski. I think this could be.
Skoronski. I think this is it.
I mean, with the way their tackles have been going, I mean, this could be a very good pick for the versatility that he has. But I'm getting a lot of questions about this, so I'll answer this now. Could the Jets not take tackle? I don't know what the Jets are going to do anymore. This draft has been. This is not from the chat. We miss you, chat. How many people we had in the live chat in the beginning was off the charts, but. I mean,
weird so far.
This is like, I don't know if this is weirder than last year. What do you guys say this is? I mean, we haven't really got to the chaos part yet. I feel like 15 on is good. I think this could be like a multiple trade. I mean, I feel like the Giants could be trading up. The Bucks can trade. This is why I said the Bucks trade down then trade up. I called someone doing it. It was just not. It was the Cardinals and not the Packers, not the Bucks. But
JSN's going to be interesting. I looked at a mock draft this morning because. The last week going up to the draft, I think I went through 24 mock drafts just on the internet, just going and going. And the big place that they want to see him is Tampa Bay, which is I really didn't
fit for them.
I definitely, but if you think about it, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, I mean
that might be. That's top 3 receiving cores in the league, next to the Eagles, I mean, that is.
It's just that the only problem is Baker Mayfield's quarterback. But I mean,
Can you see them getting Levis if he drops that far?
Far.
they might
Tampa
go
Bay.
for it. They could.
Yes.
Have Baker as a backup because listen,
I think Tampa is maybe in the prime position to possibly move up and do it.
Because Tampa Bay, really, I mean, you don't think they're going to completely bottom out next year. They'd be in play for a top quarterback in next year's draft unless they trade up. So, yeah, maybe if Levis falls, if they like him, then you might as well scoop him. Because, I mean, do you really want to have Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask be your only two options next year?
I mean, right now, if you're just tuning in with us, is the Tennessee Titans on the clock right now at pick number 11. First 10 picks have been crazy. We're a third of the way done. Second guest here with Christian. Of course, thank you for joining us as always. And of course, we have, for those who don't know, and we've mentioned it before, but Cameron Woolley is joining us in about half an hour. So, I mean, a lot of ads, though. I think it's really driving down the speed.
This is my problem with the draft.
Guy commentary, let's hear it.
I love the draft. It is too slow. I mean,
last year was not like it, though.
but there's absolutely no reason. The pick isn't cool. It shouldn't take 5 minutes to pick and then another 5 minutes to announce the pick. You get the pick, you go tell the player, hey, we're picking you, and let him be notified. It should take 2 minutes, nothing else. Goodell should be on the stage already, and we should be on to the next pick. I mean, they drag it, and that's what people I have plenty of friends who are against watching the draft because of the pace. I mean, the pace of the draft is brutal.
That and the picks getting leaked a lot. I think is a big problem with the draft. I mean, you see multiple websites and the NBA draft. I feel like it's the same way with what's his name? There's an analyst I'm forgetting that leaks. Woj leaks all the picks, and I just turn it off at that point. And just read Woj's tweets. A lot of people I feel like do that. But right now, Tennessee, the pick is still in for them. They haven't done much, as we see Mike Vrabel in the Tennessee war room. I don't know what they do. I mean,
Lineman.
if they want to go tackle now, I mean, do you really trust Tannehill that much? Or Malik?
I mean, maybe you still want to see what happens with Malik, but he really didn't show you anything.
I think they're going to bank on Malik. I think they're going to think he's going to have a better year. I mean, it's risky taking a lineman here, though.
I agree.
But it's a good. Listen, if they take the kid from Northwestern, you know you're getting a good lineman. But at the same time, like, is your quarterback going to produce?
Mhm.
That's the problem. I mean, you saw the Tennessee's quarterback, whatever that was last year, towards the end of the year. I mean, what did they have? 3 quarterbacks play for them at one point? 3 or 4?
Who?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean,
Joshua
Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs, stud. Josh Dobbs being the stud, blowing that game in the last game of the season. As we hear the commissioner head to the podium.
See if it's Will Levis.
So they do go tackle with Peter Skoronski from Northwestern, the third one off the board. Question now will be, do teams trade up to draft Broderick Jones and take maybe a little bit of a reach on him? Remember, the 12th pick, I believe, is with the Lions after trading down. So, I mean, I don't think Detroit goes offensive tackle. Could this be Christian Gonzalez?
I just want to talk about Skoronski real quick because I was talking about this in the pregame show. I do love his, versatility, being able to be both an interior lineman and be a tackle. I feel that's very valuable, especially in today's NFL. So the Titans can really plug this guy in anywhere and get an immediate producer. And I think that's exactly what you're looking for. You get no lineman out of this draft.
Now the question's going to be, what?
Detroit already picked.
Wait. Was Detroit? Oh, yeah, Detroit was nice.
So, the Lions now on the clock. Could this be Christian Gonzalez in the secondary? Remember, the secondary is having a little bit of a struggle with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But, a lot of options here. Question is, could they could they maybe reach up and take the last offensive tackle? Could they go edge with Lucas Van Ness and team him up with Aiden Hutchinson on the edge? For the Lions, you saw what the Michigan product can do last year. A lot of highs for Aiden Hutchinson at the second pick. And the Lions pick is in.
Wrong.
You can't go.
They have so many good options. They actually can't. They actually can't go wrong.
With how much value? I feel like so I wonder. I mean, what offensive weapon would you really? I mean, do they want to add a receiver? I mean,
Could do that too.
if they could get JSN or
They could really go wherever here.
yeah.
Because I remember St. Brown obviously was huge for them last year. They also, I think was it Jameson Williams? At least he was
Yeah.
suspended for the
Moving up with the
first
Vikings.
season, but
The question now will be, the Lions do have 2 first-round picks, so could this maybe be an offensive weapon, and then the second round maybe be a corner like a Joey Porter Jr. or a Deontay Banks? This is actually setting up for Washington to get Levis if they really wanted to.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't think they would give up on Howell that quick, but
They
this-
really like Howell for whatever reason. I mean, he played one game against Dallas. He had a
and
solid
looked good.
performance, but,
That's the problem.
Washington never really swings big for quarterbacks. I mean, at least recently, because we saw Dwayne Haskins, we saw RG Free, but I think they're pretty content with Howell right now, so I can't see them making that move.
I mean, this is right now completely settle and give Green Bay a chance to get the best receiver in the draft.
Well, will Detroit let them? Let's see.
Let's see it. Why?
Running
Why?
back.
A running back?
Running back.
Why?
I said they couldn't go wrong, and they went wrong.
Oh my
They went
God,
wrong.
no.
That is bad.
Nah. A running back?
Okay, wait. Hold
You
on.
have DeAndre Swift.
Hold
Oh
on.
my God.
Listen. Do not get me wrong. I watched a lot of Alabama football. Gibbs is an animal.
But you have
But-
DeAndre.
It's
Why?
not even
And
Gonzalez.
and David Montgomery.
I mean, dude, they could have picked Gonzalez.
Your secondaries.
He could have dropped. He could have dropped to the second round, arguably. I had him as a late first round pick.
I had him in the second.
Oh wow.
Green Bay just got a gift. This has to be JSN from Green Bay.
Which, once again, very ironic Green Bay takes it because I don't think they ever took a wide receiver in the first round when Rodgers was there, right? So now seeing it once he
No.
leaves, I mean, you obviously want to help out Jordan Love as much as you can. Chris, I feel like we haven't heard from you in a while. What do you got to say?
I mean, I remember back when I read one of the mock drafts saying that Christian Gonzalez is going to get picked 3rd overall, and he's still up there. I mean, who do you guys think is going to take him?
I mean, my question. I have a question before I want to answer yours. Actually, let me answer yours first. I mean, where can Christian Gonzalez go? I feel like he can. This is setting up well for Washington because if they want to ride with Howell, I mean, why not take
the Jets have?
15? We're not taking a corner.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Sauce and Gonzalez.
No, we already have DJ Reed's $13 million cap hit. That would make no sense. Is in the slot?
Unless you convert him to a safety, like you said, but he's only.
That's a
6'2".
difficult. But
mean,
our
not-
safeties are short. That's the problem. Like Christian Gonzalez, I don't feel like has the
No,
coverage skills to do it. I don't know what you guys are hyped for. You just bottled the pick on a running back. I'm so confused.
I will say though,
Of course, they're going to be high. They're the
DeAndre
ones who made the
Swift
pick.
though and Gibbs is kind of a pretty. sick
And
weapon.
David Montgomery.
That's a
So
ca-
here's the question: DeAndre Swift is in the hot seat now because they would not have. It's weird that Detroit moved down and didn't had the chance to take Bijan and didn't take it.
Yeah.
See, Green Bay's thinking right now. I mean, if you're Green Bay, you have to take a receiver.
JSN. This has to be him. If this isn't JSN, that's
Or, hold on, let's play a little bit of devil's advocate.
yeah.
here. What if they take the tight end from Utah?
Why would they go tight end? I mean, Jordan Love doesn't know the tight end for him.
They also saw Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. That's another tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Mayer and the guy from Utah. They're the two best.
Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, Dalton
I love
Kincaid.
Dalton
That's
Kincaid,
his
by the
name.
way. Great pass catcher. He doesn't block very well, which doesn't really work well with LaFleur's offense in Green Bay. The pick is in. This has to be a wide
That has
receiver.
to be a wide receiver.
And JSN, like he's that perfect skill set for them. You cannot if this has to be one receiver. I don't care who it is. This has to be a receiver.
I think it's Johnson.
No.
Let's see.
So here's the reason why I wouldn't be Quentin Johnson. They already have a big physical threat in Christian Watson, who's 6'4", 6'5". They wouldn't go two receivers like that. You need to be more dynamic, which is why my mock draft originally I had Jason going earlier. I think this could be JSN. This could be Jordan Addison. I feel like could be this pick. Zay Flowers could be this pick. I mean, there's a couple of receivers who I like possibly going here, but Green Bay, have receivers fall into their laps after possibly some interesting selections in whatever Detroit was doing.
Well,
This
this
is the 13th pick, right?
Yeah.
We have some news.
What happened?
Oh,
The 13th pick has been traded to the Jets.
What?
what?
13th overall pick.
Oh my God!
Traded with the
No!
Packers. The Jet.
No!
So you traded it and traded it back.
Oh no!
Yes.
I mean, when's that?
Oh, why?
This is so confusing.
Oh,
No!
why would they do that?
Oh my,
Who would
Joe!
they want that value that Green Bay was going to take?
If this is an edge,
Unless New England, they wanted to take someone from New England.
I'm
Oh,
stunned.
maybe.
Okay, so here's the thought process here. One, Green Bay
Why?
just gave New England a wide receiver. No ways. This has to be defense.
Why would you trade up?
Here's the thought. Remember, Lucas Van Ness's pass rushing skills, but he can also cover a little bit.
You want?
Could they possibly convert Van Ness into an outside linebacker? That's the question.
Hey, it was your guy, right?
I mean, Van Ness was one of the guys I really liked in this draft, but an edge possibly?
Is it worth trading up for Van Ness?
No.
Why would they trade up? Why would Green Bay take an edge?
That's the question. That's real. I have no idea what's going on.
Because I'm also seeing here in the same one I was looking at, they had New England possibly getting Van Ness.
But they need a receiver.
Right.
This just gave New England a wide receiver, the number one wide receiver on the board.
Wait, unless that was false.
Wait, do you think it's false?
Yeah,
Is it?
because I'm looking, and
I
it's
mean,
saying how.
Green Bay's picking.
What is going on? Green
I
Bay.
think
Okay,
Schefter reported
so-
it, I don't.
Yeah.
so apologies for that news because
I think I think this is still
Green Bay is keeping the pick.
So
so
the basal heart attack has been prevented.
Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. This is totally going in the
Wow,
clips, by the way.
This is the. No, it isn't.
Oh,
Oh, it
What?
is.
Why?
Oh no, there's something.
Oh my God, what's
Oh, I'm losing it.
We're losing it, chat. No, this is the weirdest draft I've ever seen. What the?
Can you imagine?
What? I just dropped again.
Can you imagine if the Packers pick an edge right here?
Oh wow. So here's what just recap what just happened. The source you used, unfortunately, was false,
It's a verified source too.
and it's a verified source.
Is it just subscribe to Twitter Blue though?
No, it's a legit.
But let's
source.
see if they make it. And they kept the pick.
Okay.
It's an edge watch.
Please be an edge. Please be an edge. Please be an edge.
It is.
Yes! Yes! Oh my God! What just
Why?
happened?
Why?
Wow.
Oh
If you're a Packers fan,
wow!
I don't know how you could not.
I
be
don't know
furious.
what's going on.
That is awful.
Jackson Smith and Jiva is on the board. You do not-
So here's the thing with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think the concern with Jackson Smith, first of all, my heart just dropped like 7 times. Everyone in the chat is gonna be laughing at that one, but GG's to the Packers, who you thought could have messed it up. That's back to back now. But they go edge. Let me talk a little bit to you about Lucas Van Ness, who's one of my favorite players in the draft, and I thought the Jets were about to take him. You can move him around multiple positions. He's got that swim move. He can cover a little bit, but he is so quick on his feet. You saw him made that double team cut to the inside and make an impact. Run stopping, oh yeah. You can really stop on the edge, but with a 3-4 scheme and them getting a lot of, I mean, they have had some issues on the edge before, but Green Bay has given New England another chance by an NFC North team to give the Patriots a golden ticket wide receiver.
If there is a team who needed a wide receiver more, and more than any other team, it is the New England Patriots. We've seen for so long they've struggled to get talent in this position. You know, they paid Juju Smith-Schuster, but you know, they drafted, remember N'Keal Harry when they drafted him in the first round, did not work out. We've seen how, just in general, the Patriots lose Jacoby Myers to the Raiders. I think that Jackson Smith and Jiva would be the pick here. Chris, do you agree? You see Smith and Jiva going to the Patriots?
I don't see how he's not. I mean, I would kind of think the pick would be in already. I mean,
This guy's killing me, by the way. You made my heart drop with the Jets trading up for possibly Lucas Van Ness. And then we don't. And then that screen says, wait, we have a trade.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a trade.
Please be the Giants.
Cowboys, probably.
Steelers.
The Steel. Oh, this has to be Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after he leaked a possible trade that turned out to be false, unfortunately. Nothing against you, by the way. We have a trade. The Patriots have shockingly traded down with the Steelers. Remember, I rumored a possible trade at the So the Steelers move up.
They're looking for someone specific if they're.
I think this has to be Broderick Jones. Their offensive line being such a mess.
They need it.
Nolan Smith. That's another name that I like. Damian Woody going with Nolan Smith. Though I have going later around 22 right now because of the injury.
I mean, I think they could also use a cornerback. I think
Gonzalez. I think this is going to be Gonzalez. Their offensive line's a little bit of a mess. I think are being Broderick Jones to finish the offensive tackles and possibly send the Jets to trading down. I feel like it's a very big possibility. But if this pick is Christian Gonzalez, the Jets should be on the phone. This should be Broderick Jones. If this is not Christian Gonzalez, if this is Christian Gonzalez, then Broderick Jones will likely be heading to the Big Apple.
Just so we can get this ahead of time, who do you want the Jets to draft specifically?
So with who's left, Broderick Jones. You get your blindside tackle or possibly replace Chris Lord a little bit, by the way. I mean, you get Broderick Jones, get that protection at left tackle. I mean, why not go with the last big tackle in the first round? I mean, why not? I mean, you have Dwayne Brown who's getting up there in age and has been injured before, and we saw what the backups can do. I mean, Max Mitchell's developing, but I don't know. I mean, apologies if my mic level's kind of high. This has been so entertaining, and this last 20 minutes or so have been absolutely mental.
Someone with a cardboard cutout of Kenny Pickett.
That's funny, but I think the Jets right now are in prime position to possibly take Broderick Jones. I don't see them taking Christian Gonzalez, but what if the Jets go safety? What if they go safety at 15 with Brian Branch? If this is Broderick Jones, I do see the Jets possibly trading down again. Why not trade down possibly for a safety? Could this possibly send a frenzy for Will Levis and send Tampa Bay to 15? That's a question that we might be talking about now. What if the Bucks trade up for Will Levis with the Jets? I see the Jets possibly trading down and moving back up again. I think that's a very big possibility.
I don't really see, especially if Tennessee didn't take him, I don't see a team like just pressing for Will Levis. So I can't predict at this moment where he's going to go. I had a feeling before this draft started that he was going to fall. I have no idea where Levis is going to end up.
I think this will be Jones. I think this will be Broderick.
I think this has to be Broderick. So now, who would be going crazy for corner? You have to think about that now strategically. There are a couple of teams, but with Pittsburgh, a receiver still hasn't been picked. Now, here's your question. Teams who need a receiver. Could Washington go receiver? They have Jahan Dotson, they have McLaurin. But do they maybe think?
I don't think they need.
Let's hear it. This has been chaos. Okay, so Broderick Jones, the last big offensive tackle, is off the board. Now here come the men in green and white, the team that actually did better than the Packers last year, the real team in green and white. The Jets are not going to be on the clock. And here's the question. Do they now have to move down because of not having a chance to take the offensive tackle? I don't see them taking Christian Gonzalez, but I mean, I don't know. Could this be Brian Branch from Alabama?
I like Brian Branch. I like the versatility.
But they don't need a hard-hitting safety. That's the question.
If you can't really think of a specific need that you want to fill, right, hear me out. With Aaron Rodgers in town, do you want to go for a superstar offense against Smith and G? But now,
I don't think they do it. They don't have the caps. They have too many receivers. They can't do it.
Because you have.
But the cap situation, they can't do it. Mecole Hardman and G-Dub. With Davis and Mims. You do not have the physical cap space in the way that Davis's contract is to really afford to cut him. So, if you want to take a receiver like that, and the cap hit that the receiver is going to have. So, why not go in on defense and possibly go Could this be Nolan
I
Smith?
mean, look, with the way the draft's shaping out right now, can Smith and Jeeba be near where the Giants are? I mean, maybe.
I don't think.
I think the Giants can maybe move. I
They
think
can maybe move up and get him.
Honestly, I don't think the Giants need to move up. I think if you're the GM, if you're Joe Shane, you got to be happy right now that only one corner has been taken.
And
Not
all
one
receivers
receiver
already-
has been taken. Do the Giants don't even need to trade down unless things start getting serious. Then Gonzalez gets taken, then Porter gets taken, then Giants got a little bit worrying to do. But as of now, I think they're in a good spot where they really don't have to make any moves.
so. Right now, the Jets are on the clock. You see the boys in Floral Park. I mean, you see the trade with Aaron Rodgers. Now they're at the pick that the Packers would have had. Who will take my who will my heart drop for this year? Last year we did it right. I mean, Christian Gonzalez would be an interesting pick here, as we might be seeing one of the last two picks here with Christian. It's been a lot of fun with you, man, by the way. You've been able to see some absolute chaos tonight.
Yeah, this is something.
It's definitely something.
Imagine
Let's hear McShay things. I forgot we don't have a third round pick this year. Can we move back like 2 picks or like something like that? I wouldn't mind trading with the Patriots and letting them take X. No, that's not true. But whoever gives us the most picks, can we just trade down with them, please?
Why don't they just trade? They don't.
They
really don't.
I think that's
need
what they're waiting
anything.
for.
They're probably making some trade calls right now.
Yo, I want to call Tampa Bay. Yo, Tampa, do you want Hendon Hooker at 15? Make it more confusing.
Or Levis.
Or Levis.
The fact that Levis hasn't been picked yet, and some people actually had Levis at number 1, is actually crazy.
Yeah.
He's that one.
The odds are just.
You said it in the pregame. Use that one guy that's gonna fall.
I mean, you always see it. I think you always see a quarterback when there's this many quarterbacks in the class. At least one guy.
I mean, my pick was totally wrong. Sorry, Bijan. I didn't know you met with the foul. I just went. My pick. My moving downs pick was based on how many teams he visited.
Can you imagine?
Why are we going wide receiver? We don't need a wide receiver.
Can you imagine if the Eagles traded with the Jets right now and picked up another defensive animal?
Probably trying to trade. So my New York Jets are on the clock. It's very scary that we may mess this up or not.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
Will. Hey,
Get Zach Wilson
screw
out
it.
there.
Trade Zach Wilson to the Titans. That would be kind of funny and sad to me because I have his jersey. I got it.
I still can't believe you bought that jersey.
I didn't buy it. I got it for Christmas.
Some guy on Twitter goes, "The Jets should take Will Levis as a joke." That'd be so funny.
Is this our new Jordan Love? Question mark. Okay. In all seriousness,
Instantly get Rodgers angry 1 week into being there.
can we?
Or do you think they could play it safe and take a player that they don't? Kind of like the Devontae Smith situation, where the Eagles, where Devontae Smith was taken from my Giants.
Heartbreaking.
Heartbreak. Yeah, it was our fault. I know. Well, he's gone, Gettleman. Thank God. But I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what the point of this is.
I mean, if you want to remember DJ Reed, I just remember this. DJ Reed's on the last year of his contract. Could this be Christian Gonzalez? I now really thinking about it logically, I would not really mind it. If we mess it up, then could this lead me to leaving the room for a second? But that probably won't happen. I'm nervous, terrified.
I would just love to see the look on your face if they say Will Levis' name. I need to know what that looks like.
I am rooting for that to happen.
I would leave the room.
They're gonna trade.
I would leave the room. I would physically leave the room.
There's no reason why they wouldn't trade this. Like, it just doesn't.
I think they're trying to. They're just not succeeding.
Because they probably want, like, Giants. Come on,
Oh,
There's a minute 50 left.
Giants, please.
Who the heck? Who is that?
It's Nolan
I mean, I wouldn't mind Nolan Smith.
Oh no, I forgot. Oh, that's scary. Oh,
We need to now. Oh, I forgot he plays outside linebacker.
Yeah,
Take him, please. I forgot he. Oh wait.
he's fast. He ran. He was one of the fastest.
I completely forgot he played linebacker. I thought he was an edge. Oh, please give me him,
He's like
please.
he's kind of like Thibodeau, where he can play.
Yeah.
linebacker, but he's also a rusher.
This has been the most chaotic last hour I've ever seen. Oh, they're happy. Y'all better not mess this up.
I think it's a trade. They haven't said the pick is in. They must be trading.
No, they're gonna run it down to a minute. Oh, they know what they're doing.
Please be trading.
Don't take Nolan Smith. I don't know. Hey, y'all better giving in the pick, I mean, we own our Minnesota Vikings from 2003.
Giants.
Come
on.
Good. Okay.
Oh.
Y'all tried.
Oh.
Who will take my heart and soul this year? Last year, Breece Hall made me look like a moron. Why does that look so dark?
The amount of we should take Will Levis jokes on Twitter right now, it's going crazy. It's actually hilarious.
Well, my leaks have not given me a pick yet to make me feel safe or more scared.
I don't know.
But as a Jets fan, I am absolutely terrified. But we can have optimism. We could have optimism.
Jets.
Stop. You're a Giants fan. Don't say that.
But unfortunately, this will be the last pick with you with us in the room. Maybe you can go back to your dorm or with your friends from your frat and really be able to enjoy the Giants. Hopefully not messing up the pick. Oh, wait, I might have found it.
Oh.
They actually do it. Oh, they actually did it. They had to have done it.
Let's see what that's
I saw a leak. Rob, don't look at your phone.
about.
Rob, don't
Oh,
look at your
we
phone.
want to see a live
Rob, don't look at your
reaction.
phone. Yeah, no, don't look at your phone.
No, I
Reaction. Close the phone.
No.
Live reaction from Rob.
Please
close
We
the
need an
phone.
authentic
Okay.
Rob. We need
No,
an
I
authentic-
did see who it is. I mean, I'm not mad about it
Okay.
because he played. I'll explain why I'm not mad about it in a second.
It doesn't make sense.
See why.
No, I'll put it this way. It kind of makes sense, but why? Oh, they screwed up. What's with the GMs this year?
Yo, can you y'all GM sober up, please?
No. Why are the Packers not taking a receiver? Why
Why
is
not
Detroit drafting
drafting a running back?
Like,
What are
oh my god!
why did Tennessee not
All right.
take Will Levis?
I have no idea what this is. Let's see.
I am terrified.
Why was Gonzalez not the first corner taken? Like what?
Well, the Witherspoon, that was a toss-up from
Yeah,
the whole
it's awesome,
start.
but-
But why is he even taking it? Gonzalez, please.
Oh, Rob,
I already know who it is, but
I wish you didn't see this.
well,
Your reaction would have been like, "What?"
no, I actually when I saw who it was. I won't say who it is, but I'm actually not that shocked by it at all. Even though it's you'll hear my reasoning in a second.
I haven't seen him in any mocks though. Which is
This dude better turn out like Kayvon Thibodeau, whoever position this is, the little kid. You better not disappoint me, dude. Not trying to threat the kid at all, but I'm terrified.
make a wish.
The other New York team got it this year. Shout out to my man Sam Prince from last year. I actually got to know the
Sam
dude.
Prince,
Dog.
Absolutely.
We can call him a dog, right?
a legend.
Chat.
Oh, yes.
He's a beast.
Oh, he's getting the crowd hyped up. Okay.
My man, this guy better know what disappointment feels like.
Getting them hyped up for Will Levis.
By the way, for reference, every time they've done this, this has been a good player.
You're not gonna believe your eyes.
I'd also like to thank the NFL, the New York Jets, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern New York for giving me this opportunity tonight.
That's cool.
Dog. Yes, sir.
That is.
This
really
kid
cool.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Now, please tell me we took a corner. Even though I already know who the pick is.
In the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets.
This has more energy than Prince. Okay. Okay. So, Now, here's the big thing with Will McDonald. By the way, people are projecting him as in a late first round, early second round, according to ESPN. Will McDonald, he is an edge threat from Iowa State. Now, is this who I wanted? Probably not. But Will McDonald, I feel like he is probably one of the bigger reaches in the first round. But as right now, an outside linebacker, this could feel a need if he wants to play and put him an outside linebacker. I'm not that frustrated with this because he's an outside linebacker fulfilling the need, replacing Quan Alexander next year. Could we take Nolan Smith? We could have, but right now, as the last pick in part 2, a little bit of a reach, but he coming off the edge. Oh boy! Now,
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, I kind of understand it though because I know Nolan Smith's coming off injury, but like,
it's a little bit of a reach for sure.
it's definitely a reach. Nolan Smith can play 2 different positions.
So both of them can play both.
They both can. But
I
feel
think
like,
with Joe Douglas being concerned with injuries, as a Jets fan, this may be concerning, but I'm actually not that mad about this. I was concerned at
Where is
first.
he projected? Second round?
20. He's ranked 28th in ESPN.
all right.
But I mean, I think they wanted Van Ness because he could play outside linebacker as well, and Nolan Smith's injury concerns.
All right.
But unfortunately, Washington's already picked. So Christian, unfortunately, I have to say goodbye to you, my man, and bring in our next guest. We'll be right back with you. Don't go away. Part 3 comes next with Cameron Woolley. Make sure to follow us all Into the Stands as always. We'll be right back. Don't go away.